Now, Hemu Nigam is an online safety, security, and privacy expert. He joins me live from Los Angeles. Good morning to you. This video was up for more than 2 hours before Facebook took it down, and the company has gotten a lot of heat. Is some of that criticism justified?
Well, the reality of this is this. The company has historically relied on users to tell them when they see a problem on the site. Unfortunately, users don't act online exactly the same way they do in the physical world. If you see a crime being committed, the first thing a user in the real world is going to do is pick up their phone and call 911. In the online world, they'll say, oh, that's horrible, or they'll actually share it and say that's horrible. And so the reality is that the companies, and it's not just a Facebook issue, it's an industry issue, needs to focus more on getting users to report as well as being proactive in identifying issues in the first place.
Hemu, does Facebook have some type of system here for monitoring content? We're talking about nearly 2 billion users, so you're saying a lot of it is reliance on users to flag content?
Yes, Asiya, what you hear from Facebook consistently is that we rely on our user community to tell us when there's a problem. Yes, they also do use artificial intelligence algorithms that are looking for things like metadata in a file and seeing if it violates their terms. And they have some moderators who are looking at things based on anomalous behavior, again, triggered by technology. But at the end of the day, their primary focus is on users and setting policies and asking users to enforce them. The strange thing is, if you see something that might be something you want to see, let's say it's a beheading video, the user's not always going to report that. So it's a time of change that is occurring in the industry overall, where we can't just rely on users anymore. We have to do more than just that.
And who ultimately makes the decision to leave something up or take it down, and how much of it is really a personal judgment call?
Well, I see there's every terms of use. If you look at the bottom, there's a privacy policy and a terms of use. Buried in that terms of use is a list of things the company does not allow on this site. And there are trained people whose job is to implement and enforce those terms. And so that's where the company ultimately decides what's on its site and what's not. It's not like a public thing. It's a private entity. It was created by a private organization. They get full control, full decision-making authority on what goes up and what comes down.
Do you believe these types of platforms, especially when you're live streaming a video, encourage horrific crimes?
Well, I think anytime you give somebody another piece of technology to showcase what they're doing, they're going to use it. That, in fact, is the purpose of creating these technologies. The real question is, if you're going to do that, how do you enforce the rules so that you don't have the negative element of society testing your limits and seeing, well, how much can I get away with? Just like in the real world, when you have police officers on a particular corner, for example, drug dealers may go off to another corner. So I think Facebook has to send a clear, hard, and tough message that says we do not allow this type of conduct. Users, help us get rid of it. Everyone work together, not just the company, but the company working with its user base.
So many questions and clearly so many concerns. Hemu Nigam joining us live from Los Angeles. Thank you so much. And